We're live now. We are 8
What's up?
minutes late.
What's up?
We are we are late
We're late because
for for a very important date.
Jay can't figure out how to do this. So that's why we're late because Jay is inept when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yes. I mean,
Well, I mean, you can agree. It's the truth. I mean, it's
I don't think that's it. I think there was probably some uh saboteur that unintentionally saboteured. Ohio State's up 7-0. I watched that game last night. Did you watch that game last night?
I did.
Notre Dame, Penn State.
I could have
I was actually looking forward to Penn State beating Notre Dame because I do not like Notre Dame.
I could have sworn, honestly, I could have sworn that my dog, dude. I swear, I'm gonna shoot him.
Mine's outside barking. Yours is inside barking.
Yeah, I could have sworn that Notre Dame was gonna lose the first half of that game.
Yeah, I know. That's
Oh,
college
yeah.
football. That's why you play 4 quarters. That's why you race 500 miles in Indianapolis and Daytona. 'Cause it ain't just as easy as I cannot. Well, let's do it this way. Well, I'll send you the live link from the Facebook.
All right, let's hope that happens. We're gonna have a special guest real quick. I don't know how long he's gonna be able to be on, but it's gonna be fun. Hi, Roberta.
Did you send him the link?
I sent him the link, the resend of the resend.
The resend to the resend.
Yes.
Well,
Before we get down dirty and deep in this, I'm gonna throw another log on the fire. Hold on. It's freezing up here, man. Like 18 degrees. Ugh.
18. Oh, well, it was 29 this morning for us. That's cold.
In Louisiana?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. While we wait on him to throw another log on the fire. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Well, so there's going to be, I guess, a special guest. That's the first I heard about it. So, I guess last week I brought in a special guest, so I guess it makes sense that, or last time, the Air Force, Space Force episode, I thought was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it or not, but
All right.
so
We're ready to rock.
I want to rock.
Yeah.
You goofy goober? No, SpongeBob.
So the holidays, bro. How were
Yeah.
they?
They were great. I enjoyed it.
How was
Had a
your
good time. Oh, there he is. Pop him on.
Where is he?
Hey. Hi.
What's up?
What are you doing?
Oh, just trying to figure something out. I think I got my audio all messed up. Hold on a second. It's going through my speakers. Let me fix that. What's going on, boys?
No?
John.
John.
What's up?
Lots of Johns here.
Yeah.
Well, the DBV.
Yeah, I've been called that before.
How's the nation, bro?
Are we live?
We are
Yes.
live. Yeah.
I've
We are
never
live
been
on Facebook
before.
and Facebook and YouTube.
Oh my god, this is so cool! Thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for being on.
What
I
are we
mean, it's-
talking about?
We have a celebrity. So it's kinda cool.
No.
So let me ask you this: Jay said that you were an '86 tech, right?
No. I was a Sparrow Tech.
He was a sparrow.
Mm.
Yep.
I was a Sparrow Tech. I don't play with guns. I play with missiles.
Where'd you go to C school at?
Damn neck.
When were you in C school? I'm asking because I know people might have been there at the same time.
When was I in C school? Good God. I don't
Because
know,
if
back
you were,
when we-
if you knew him, it would have been
97.
like in the '98, early '99.
it'd have been 98, 99.
So did you know a guy named Eric Olds?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
But it's not, that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Well, you're
doesn't
like me.
mean-
You met a lot of people since 1998. So
Yeah, I've met a couple of few people since that time.
who
It's
knows?
been-
We may have known each other in the Great Lakes and not even realized it. So
Great mistakes. Yes,
Yeah.
we all know each other from great
It's a great
mistakes. Yeah. So what's going on, boys? What's
Not much, man.
We're just
talking
talking.
about the holidays. How was your holiday?
Oh God, I don't remember. It's kind of a blur.
What?
I think
Because
I
because
think we
of
had
the-
a Christmas. think we had a Christmas. We had a New Year's. I'm pretty sure we had a New Year's, and then I just went straight into our comedy tour. So we just did my third time doing stand-up comedy was in Atlanta last weekend.
That's the Gen X takeover, right?
Yeah, that's the Gen X takeover. It's wild, and so we were actually the whole holiday we were preparing for that, getting our sets warmed up and all that stuff, and it's the holidays have become a blur. Everything's become a blur.
Yeah.
It's just a wild ride, and I'm happy to get to go on it.
So how many cities have you been to so far, bro?
We did Nashville, we did Cleveland, we did Atlanta. We've got New Orleans in February. We've got Vegas. We're playing at the Palms in Vegas, which is insane, considering that'll be my 5th time doing stand-up comedy, and I'm playing at the Palms already.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said, dude. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I got here. I don't know what fairy godmother I got kissed by or something, but
right.
I'm enjoying the shit out of it. Yeah, so then we play the Palms. Then after that, we go to St. Louis, Boston, Austin. Seattle is our last true show date. Then we may do one in Fort Lauderdale right before our cruise in November. That we're going to go on in 9 days.
Who came up with this idea? The idea of let's go do stand up. A whole bunch of.
Okay. So here's the story, and we tell this as a joke in the thing. Kelly Mono, she's the shorter, squirrely one that's in our group. She had the idea because she never got out of the house. She never did anything. She never got out of the house. She was kind of a homebody, and that's how all her content is. It's all from her house. She said she wanted to meet some other people in the creator world and do creator stuff together. So she hit up Nick and Slim Sherry. They knew each other, and then they were like, "Hey, we've been kind of loosely talking to the dad bod. Let's bring him in and let's see if everybody wants to go to Nashville and hang out in an Airbnb, eat bonbons, paint our toenails, watch rom-coms, eat pizza, do nothing."
That sounds like fun.
It sounded like a blast. I was totally in. I was like, yeah.
It sounds like deployment. It sounds like a deployment.
It sounds just like a deployment. I was like, that sounds perfect for me. I'll sleep on the floor. I don't care. And then the wives got involved.
Uh-oh.
So the wives were like, no, we're not going to eat this. We're not eating this cost. I'm going to pimp you out. We're going to pimp you guys out. And Nick has done stand-up comedy before. So they were like, you guys are going to do stand-up comedy. And me, Kelly, and Sherry have never done stand-up comedy in our life.
Right.
And we're like, okay, I guess we're going to learn how to do stand-up comedy. Because it's one thing I've learned in this whole social media game is don't say no. Don't say no to anything.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Just say no. Like you guys call me, you want to be on this thing? I'm like, sure, why not? Don't say no. Doesn't matter how big you are, doesn't matter how small you are. Don't say no. So we all said yes.
We're all FC veterans, and we were all in A school about the same time, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Yes.
And then I almost threw up all over myself the first time I did it. It was looking back after now having done it 3 times. That was the worst set that I've ever done. It gets better every time. But that is probably the most nerve-wracking thing that you can do is stand up in front of a group of people and be funny or try to be funny.
Well, dude, talking in front of people, period, alone in and of itself is
God. I just want to throw up thinking about it.
But having to stand up there and try to make them laugh.
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't be able to do it. Kudos.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. So we were going to just do one show in Nashville, and then we sold that out in like an hour. And then we were like, okay, we're doing another one. So we did basically back-to-back shows in Nashville, sold both of them out. And we had what's called a house party is what we called it. There's this place called Pins Mechanical. I don't know if you've ever heard of these, but it's like a giant adult arcade. Like all the old school games are there. There's like pinball and bocce ball and giant Jenga and all these games in there. It's and it's a bar and the whole 9 yards.
Is it like Dave and Buster's?
It's like Dave and Buster's, but more old schoolish, more like 80s theme.
Okay.
So it's totally up the alley. So we called them. We're like, hey, can we do a thing at your place? And they're like, sure, take it. And we're like, that was way easy.
Yeah, it was easy.
And so we had a house party for like 5 hours there after both of the shows were over. And that was a completely different ticket, right? So you bought tickets to each one of the little things. But that turned into it was the most insane thing ever. Because like the 4 of us, we had never actually engage with our fans directly. We were like just walking around, and all of a sudden we would get stopped by somebody, and they'd be like, take a picture, and then a line would form. And no BS, dude, we couldn't get away from the lines of people, which was awesome. It was cool, but like, you know me, Beck. I mean, like, it was weird for me to have all these people like coming up to me, telling me their story, and be like, "Oh, we love you. You're the oh my god." Da, da. I'm like, "What are you doing? Imposter syndrome? Why is this happening?"
I was just like, I was here for bonbons. That's all.
It's like I was just here for beer.
Yeah, right.
And so we did that for like 5 hours. It was probably the most emotionally draining thing I've done in my life. I literally cried halfway through it because it was just like you had to be on for this whole time,
right?
And I was like dying. I was inside. I was like, "Oh my god, I need a break. I just need to go. I need to go do something. I need to go lay down. I need to take a Xanax.
Break.
Yeah, I need something." And so we actually had security there, and the security stopped the line and got us and pulled us into this upstairs area, and we all just laid on the floor and like died. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then we took a 10-minute break. We went back down and did it again. And it was at that point that we realized, holy shit, we might be able to do this more.
Yeah.
And so the wives, their little gears started turning, and they're like, okay, we're going to really pimp you guys out.
Right.
And so they made some phone calls, and then Cleveland happened, and Cleveland was an absolute blast. We did it at a dueling piano bar in downtown Cleveland.
Oh.
Sold that out. And we had a house party there too. And that was awesome because we had the dueling pianos. We were up there singing and dancing and doing all this stuff. And it was like a big 80s party with everybody there. Everybody had a blast. We did the comedy. My comedy set was way better this time. I, marginally almost threw up before I did my set. We had a blast. And then we're like, okay, there's really something here. And then we would just kind of set the schedule for the rest of the tour. And now we're already doing it.
So you started the Gen X takeover with 4 people, right?
Yeah.
More now?
No. It's so okay. So that's an interesting story about the Atlanta set. Because we've always known that we're not big enough and we're not smart enough to make this thing get really big, right? So we've been always.
Gen X, you can do it.
No. See, that's one of the good things is I'm an FC. I know that I can't touch ET stuff. Okay. I'll break it. I'll break my own stuff. I don't need to break theirs too. So this guy, Justin Rupel, I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. He's a voice actor who was on like America's Got Talent and all that stuff. And he reached out to us. He reached out to Sherry through social media and said, "Hey, I saw what you guys did. I'm opening a club up in Seattle. Can you guys come do a thing here?" We're like, "Yeah, sure." But the only time we have is September. So that's why the September date is in Seattle. And he's like, "Cool. Well, do you guys need anything else?" And we're like, "Yeah, we don't have a venue for Atlanta yet because we didn't have anything locked down for Atlanta." He's like, "Let me call my business partner and we'll do it." And so he called his business partner and he gets us this comedy club. Now we're ignorant. We don't know anything about the comedy scene. He gets us the Atlanta Comedy Theater. Now, unbeknownst to us, this is like the pinnacle, the mecca of comedy theaters. Like you walk in there and there's like paintings on the wall of all these people who have been there and played there. There's Chappelle, there's Kevin Hart, there's Marlon Wayans, there's Matt Rife. I mean, anybody who's done comedy is here. And we're like, this is weird. They got all these paintings of all these people. And we talk to the DJ. He's like, "Yeah, everybody's played here." We're like, what?
Oh my God.
So that was last Sunday, and we rocked that place for 2 shows and had a VIP thing in the middle of it. And the owner was kind of standoffish to us initially, right? He was like, these guys are nothing, whatever. After the first show, he was like, "What do you guys want? What do you want? What do you want? You want a Netflix special? You want to?" And we're like, "What?" I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So at the same time, Justin, the voice actor, we let him host the show and kind of introduce us, but do some of his voice acting stuff. That's why you see the little snippets that I've got put up and that he's been putting up about being part of the family now, because it just merged so cohesively together. It was beautiful.
Justin who?
Justin Rupel. Just Rupple. Look him up. He's hilarious. He does all the voice actors like Liam Neeson, Sean Connery. I mean, he does like 300 different voices. He's hilarious. But he's a millennial. So
Does he do Trump?
Yes, he does Trump.
Everybody does Trump.
He does Trump. He does Obama. He
Trump's
does
easy.
he would even during the VIP thing, they were like people were just giving him voices and say, do this voice. And he could like pull them off seamlessly. He was awesome.
Do you know who does Trump really well? Jamie Foxx. That was surprising.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's on point.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
That's
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, real quick, everybody that's watching probably wondering what's going on. Normally, we don't have guests on our lives like this, but
this guy's
well, I mean, Jay. So apparently, Jay knows this guy from A school, and so Jay was in A school a couple months ahead of me, and Dad Bod veteran. I don't even know what your real name is.
It's John. It's John.
You said that earlier. Sorry, my bad. I guess you kind of blew up with TikTok. It got you started, and then, or did it get you started, or is that just another way you went
his
Gandalf
the times before started?
Yeah, the times before.
Yeah,
it's the times before. It's the stories of the way the world used to be, all the beautiful
that's
things.
You?
That's him.
Oh yeah, that's me.
I didn't realize that. That's
here.
The Nintendo.
Is that better?
Yeah. Well, yep.
Is that better? I was hiding. This is my safe space.
Yeah, and that was funny because I remember watching those, and it was always like making fun of like something. And so it was really funny. I didn't even realize that was the same person. So
that's me. Cool. And Becker doesn't know me. I get to know Becker. Okay.
Oh, stop!
I'm the cool one.
Stop.
I'm the cool one because I get to know him.
You're the cool one.
I know so many things about him that I can't tell.
We used to drive around a lot in Firebirds.
In a Firebird. We used to go to Evanston, Illinois.
Oh,
because it's the only place we're allowed to drink. Well, we weren't supposed to be drinking there, but they allowed us to drink there.
Well, that's right. There was a bar in Racine that said if you're old enough to join the military, you're old enough to drink.
I like that
pretty
place.
much.
That's like what was it? Was it Mr. B's or something right outside the back gate? Had to be really careful.
Mr. B's.
Was it B's? It sounds like $5 pictures. I remember that.
Jeez.
I just finished one and walked out, and then they rated it, and I never went back.
Ours was yesterday's. I remember it. Yesterday's in Evanston.
Yep. Yesterday's.
That's where we found out what was in the bag.
Yep. Yeah.
So where do you live? I mean, what state you live in? Where are you at now?
We're down in Somerville, South Carolina.
I actually was going to call you today.
What's that?
I was going to call you today.
What were you going to call me?
My youngest son, Cody, he was waiting for the bus this morning, and he looks at my wife, Big Shauna. She's watching, by the way. She says hello. And
did you say Big Shauna?
It was 18 degrees outside today. So my youngest Cody looks at her and says, "Ma, why do we live here?" And she said, "Please don't let your father hear you say that." And she told me, and I was like, "I'm calling John, and I'm figuring out exactly what the cost of living is down there. If there's any state tax." I was about to get all the info from you, bro.
Call me. We'll talk.
I guarantee you that it's cheaper to live here than there. 100%.
Yeah, there's a problem. Is everybody from the north has figured this out? Probably about 10 or 15 years ago, they all figured it out.
Yeah.
And now there's very few people that are actually from here anymore.
Are you from Somerville?
Yeah, I'm from here. I joined out of here, and I did my last tour at the at security out of the weapons station here.
How long were you in?
9 years.
Oh, you did 9?
97 to 06. 07. Was it 06 or 07, babe? 06.
Was that
I'm being corrected by my producer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Behind her. I'm trying to figure out where Somerville's at. So
it's right outside of Charleston. Right outside of Charleston.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now. I grew up in Clayton, Georgia. So
west of Charleston? Is it west of Charleston?
Yeah, because if you go east, you're going to be in water.
I didn't know Charleston was that close to the ocean.
Charleston's got a harbor.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, there used to be a Navy base here.
Until 88.
There used to be a really big Navy base here.
Oh, huge Navy base.
Yeah, until the BRAC. The BRAC back in 80, or I think it was 94, was the BRAC that between Norfolk and Charleston. And Charleston lost.
Yeah, which is
that's sense. Okay. We're better for it now.
Better off. 100% guarantee it.
For it now.
I found out in the early 2000s that the town I grew up in was one of on the short list of towns to put Disneyland in. Oh. Disney World up in the mountains. They were talking about doing that. And there was a part of us who were like, oh man, that stinks. But then we're like, oh, well, who knows what that town would be like now? Well, I probably wouldn't have ever been born.
Yeah, it was
Our parents would never met.
after the Navy base left here. It was like a depression here, and that's why I joined the Navy, was because there was no jobs. So I
Yeah.
joined the Navy and left and hung out with old Becky here, and saw some cool stuff, and hit some ports, and then came
Did
back
some
home and got
things.
What
Did some-
ships
Yeah,
were
did
you on?
the Kennedy and the George Washington, 2 carriers.
Awesome.
By the way, if you're an FC, carriers are the way to go.
Yes, I guarantee you that an Aegis cruiser is not the way to go if you're an FC, because you guys are like considered royalty on a carrier, but on
We're
an Aegis
considered-
cruiser,
we're-
there's like
we're
90 of
useless.
us. Not
We're
there's like
useless.
90 or 100 of us on the Lake Champlain.
We're useless. You can't turn on an FC radar when they're flying.
Right. So what are you
So
doing?
we
all-
did nothing for 6 months.
Wow.
We did nothing. I mean, we stood watches. When we went to Condition 1, we sat behind the console for 12 hours a day, but the console was separate from CDC. It had its own space, which the missile launcher was right above it. So we had our own sponsons, we had our own entry points, and it was air conditioned and it was big. And we were just sitting there
Was
for
it
12
dark?
hours and playing Xbox and
Sleep the whole time.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
what we
actually
did.
I went Aegis, so I got lucky and went Aegis and wound up in California and on the ship. And
I wanted to go
that's where I
Tomahawk
met that-
originally, but I wanted to be
Well,
a black
everybody
belt.
did.
Yeah.
Everybody did, but
Because they wanted an easy way. But I'm glad I did what I did. I had a blast.
yeah,
Freaking blast.
cool.
I love
So
I hated the job.
yeah.
I
Well,
love
I actually liked my job. I hated the collaterals. I hated that the collaterals required without those silly collaterals. I couldn't make rank, and I hated that.
We had no collaterals. None.
how
we
many
weren't allowed to.
how many
we weren't
sea
allowed
sparrow
to.
techs are there on the carrier?
Oh God, there were, because there's 3 systems. Well, that was before RAM came out. I think we had 20. Yeah,
That's
we had
quite a
20.
I was gonna
we
say
had
5-6 guys on one system.
Yeah, and then we had 20 Sparrow guys and probably 20 Seawiz techs, and then we had 1 Taz tech, and that was it for our division.
Oh yeah, Taz.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny. It's. I was explaining to somebody the other day what C school was because I'd said something about being in C school, and then I was like, man, it's so weird thinking about it. Like, we all went to tech corps, and we all went to A school, and we all same thing. But then we go to C school, and it's like, Greek, Greek versus Latin. There's nothing like, and to transfer from one side to the other is it's impossible,
Oh, yeah.
crazy, and I don't know why people. It's kind of neat though, but.
And then you had your advancement exams that were,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
weapon specific. You had to go to like every C school to pass them.
Yep.
Me and Jay made a second together.
They're
And-
meeting 5 same time.
Yeah, I took it 4 times.
Wow.
Finally got it.
How many I took? We had the Aegis, or I had the Aegis bump. I guess that might have helped a little bit, but we
Aegis guys.
yeah, it was a little
Hey,
helpful.
these guys.
But so one of the things is that I love comedy. I'm more of a one-liner stuff. I love the idea of one-liner comedy because it's just amazing that in and out, boom, you can't build on the joke. It's just to me, it's funny. Mitch Hedberg's probably my favorite.
So you probably like Rodney Dangerfield too.
Rodney, yeah.
Yeah, Rodney is all one-liners.
The king of one-liners.
Yeah.
Brian, what's up, dude?
Yeah,
Charlie
dog.
and Brian are on.
So one of the something came to my mind one time, and it was a joke, and I was hoping one day to ever get on stage and tell it. So I'll tell it now, right? Because it's stupid and it's a one-liner, really.
Do it.
So I was driving one time, and I noticed there's a motorcycle in front of me, and you know how they throw their left hand out to the other motorcycles,
Yeah.
wave, they hang it down. It's kind of cool, And I thought, man, in England, do they do that? Because if they do, it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's my joke.
It's like the mama tomato stepping on the baby tomato and saying,
Exactly.
Because they drive on the other side.
Yeah, brother.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know if the throttle on the motorcycle is on the opposite side in England because it would ruin my joke. So I don't want to know.
So that's a good question, John. How do you get your material when you're doing the stand-up? Is it just?
Oh, dude, my material is so personal.
Is it?
It's so personal. First of all, I have 3 bits right now.
Okay.
I won't tell you too deeply about what the bits are, but one involves a child of mine who is currently in this FAFO situation.
Okay.
If you follow my content.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the other is a very personal experience of me and FAFO. Very, very detailed experience. Not a happy experience for me, but in hindsight, a very funny experience.
Right.
And all I can say is it was the shittiest day of my life. That's all I'll say.
Is that like literally shittiest day of your life?
I don't want to ruin it in case there's anybody who actually buys tickets.
Bruce, what's up, Bruce?
Probably.
Bruce Taylor, woo.
Bruce Taylor is the guy that was on the ship with us. So was Brian Delheimer.
He might know Bruce. Bruce would have been. Did you go to the A school with Bruce, Jay?
I don't think so. No.
You'd have been. Christina knew him there, so I didn't know. Maybe
I hung out with when I wasn't in school. I was hanging out with Tommy Galliano, Derek Smith,
Gigs,
Dad Bod Ved.
Gigs.
I still remember when he kicked you in the face. Did he kick you in the head one time?
Yes, he kicked me in the face one time. He roundhoused me in the face, and I went. And then he went, oh, because I didn't move. I'm a big guy.
He just looks at him. It's one of those things. And I was like, oh, God, get the popcorn. This is going to be awesome.
It's a squirrely little shit.
That was in a parking lot of a mall. That mall.
It was at Gurney Mills Mall.
Yeah, Gurney Mills,
where we used to do donuts with my bald, tired Firebird.
I seriously shit my pants one time when we were driving in your Firebird, man. You were going like 95. And I've always
and I was surprised it actually held together.
I'm from the city, so we didn't go over like 30 miles an hour because it's like stop go. Yeah. But you floored it. I was like, oh God, my handprints are probably still on the door.
And now I still have a Mustang in the driveway because all my kids are grown and I have adult money.
That was your dream car though, bud.
One of these days.
The Firebird, yeah, but they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, no, Pontiac's done.
They're gone. Nobody makes Pontiacs anymore. So
Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Saturn, all gone.
All that line of GM is gone. So I'm now a Ford guy.
All right.
Unfortunately, please forgive me.
They still make Camaros. I mean, I don't know for how long, but
no, Camaros are going out too. This is last year for Camaros.
We had a guy on the ship. I can't remember his name. He the last year Camaros came out. He re-enlisted in the Gulf and he ordered one. You remember how when he was over there you could order
custom one.
Yeah, he ordered a custom Camaro, but he got the whole Corvette package put in it and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is last year for the Camaro and the Challenger. They're bringing back an E-Challenger though, which is
that's sad.
It makes me very sad.
Let's have a moment of silence. 1, 2, 3.
For muscle cars. That's why I have a Mustang because it's the last of them.
Yeah, and it's the longest one too. Well, besides Corvette, I guess technically Corvette's been around longer. Yeah,
Corvette's still going to be around. They're not.
When I think about the old muscle cars, like the late 60s, 70s, and 80s, I just think of a Chevelle. That's what comes to my mind. Just boom.
The Chevelle.
If you think of a muscle,
that's a classic.
It's a Chevelle.
The Chevelle is a great car.
By the way,
I don't like the 70. I like the more square, like the 64s and stuff like that. I like those.
Speaking of classics, because Brian's got a classic Mustang in his driveway. Did you guys know that the 1987 Mazda B2000 pickup truck is now considered a classic?
Oh God,
87 Mazda.
That's how old we are.
Hey, I got a 90 model truck. I can get a antique tag on it, and so
yeah.
It's
so
great.
If you have a nice car from the 80s, it's a classic now. She's a keeper.
Don't
so my wife is. I'm December. My wife's October, so she's just a little bit older than me. And the other day they were talking about the president and switching around here in a few weeks, and my youngest daughter asked me if I remembered because Jimmy Carter just died, so she was asking if I remembered that. I said obviously no. I was born when he was president, but and then Christina started talking about Ronald Reagan, and I remember him being elected the second time. I remember the newscast of the second time, 84, and then I was like, crap, I really remember 1984. That's awesome. Like that's a long time ago. 42 years ago.
We're old.
No, not that long. A long time ago.
We're old. Think about it. This century is already a quarter of the way over.
Right.
Jeez, God.
Like think about 100. When we think about the 20s, we think about like the flappers and prohibition,
right?
And speakeasies and the Great Depression.
Zoot
That's
suit.
where we're at.
Yeah, 100 years later.
We're 100 years later. Like, we're going to be around for the anniversary. Most of us are going to be around for the anniversary of Pearl Harbor.
Mm.
My
Yeah.
mother's mother was born 10, 11, 12. So if she was alive today, she'd be 112, 13 years
Wow.
old. Damn.
Wow. I just can't believe we're that old already.
Damn.
So Brian talked about a kudu. When I turned 16, I was working at a restaurant washing dishes, and my stepdad and my mom took my sister, and they went out and tried test drove barracuda, and for me, and well, it had a Hemi in it, so it was a Hemi kudu, and my stepdad was a little reluctant to let me drive that, which is very smart, and because I would have died in that car most likely, but they got on the straightaway. And he goes, "You mind if I get in it a little bit?" And so he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And so he honked the gas, and the hood went pow, busted the windshield out. So I didn't get it. I didn't find out about it. They kept that quiet for like 2 years. I didn't find out until I was probably still in the Navy when they like, well, let's not tell him about this because I'd have been trying to fix that windshield and have it. But Hemi Cudas are pretty. They're kind of ugly, but they're really neat.
Yeah, they got big old motor in them.
Yeah, especially the Mopar, man. That I love NASCAR. I'm a NASCAR guy. I cannot believe that they can't work up some way of getting
What?
the
No
Hemi.
NASCAR back?
There's got to be some. Well, he's from up north.
I mean, you can still be a NASCAR fan to be.
I mean, Mike, a lot of my cousins are. A lot of my cousins. I mean, they like to drink the Busch beer and they watch racing.
You have to drink Busch beer if you're a NASCAR lover.
only on Saturdays. You drink the better stuff on Sunday.
Yeah, you drink the good stuff on Sundays.
So it sounds like we need to make a trip to Darlington this spring.
Dude, I would love it. I mean, not to say that I wouldn't watch it. I just haven't watched it. I wasn't.
You got to go. You got to go at least. But I had never been to a race until NASCAR called me and said, "We'll fly you out there. Come to the race." So I went I went to the Nashville race.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Which was crazy because I had never been to Nashville either. We got to go in pit road and all this stuff, and it was just, it's so freaking loud, man. Holy cow!
Mm-hmm.
Like they literally issue you earplugs when you go through the gate. It's so freaking loud.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
If you lose your hearing, you can't sue.
Yeah. It was so cool. All the people are just so cool, and everybody's so down to earth there, and they're just hanging out, drinking beer, sweating their ass off, and having a good time. It was
one thing
great.
I'd like to know this, John, and I know you have the capability of doing this, Lunsford. I would like to know the fastest pit time.
9 and well, wait. in NASCAR.
I was about to say if you're talking F1, you're like 2 seconds.
Yeah, they have a sub.
Yeah, F1 is a whole different animal.
Did I not show you the video of that one time on this when they showed the difference between the F1 stop? Well, okay, so let's be fair. A NASCAR stop, they only allow 6 people over the wall. In F1, they allow 24 people over the wall. And that's
why it's so fast.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't know.
I mean, it's a whole different setup.
Dude,
I mean, the car is set up completely different.
They put a lot of fuel in that car in 2 seconds. I don't care how you do it. That's a lot of fuel. I don't know how they do that. Because it's like they do like 10 gallons like that, you know.
How can you dump? I mean, how many gallons is a tank in F1?
I don't know.
It's not that big because the car's not that big. The car is literally not that big. Let's look it up.
Let me look. I'm working on it. Oh, okay. You got
the whole thing is that it's only 2 seconds. So how much gasoline actually can you dump into that car in 2 seconds?
Well, if you're forcing it and you give it,
of course, it's got to be in kilograms. 190 kilograms.
Why wouldn't it? Well, we're Americans. We're FCs. We can figure it out.
It's 150 liters plus or minus 10 liters. I don't know what that means. Tell me an American. How many gallons? There we go. 28.
Chris Underwood's here.
Dude.
Chris. 28 gallons in 2 seconds. I don't think that's physically possible.
Holy crap.
I don't think it's physically possible.
Do you know how much fuel they put on a ship in that amount of time? It's pressurized. I'm trying to pull the video up here.
So the transfer pump on that must be huge. There must be a pump on it.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that when F1 does it, they do it in a different level.
Well, it's so amazing. This past year, I think it was Denny Hamlin's team figured out the fastest way to do a NASCAR pit stop. And
we got it.
Here we go.
Oh, look at this.
All right, everyone, the fastest F1 pit stop ever.
Video.
Look, 1.92.
What is it?
No way.
No.
That was 4 tires and all that.
And fuel.
That was not 4 tires, was it?
It's really
Yes. Look, see? Boom, done.
Oh.
Now what's the NASCAR? Now these NASCAR stop. Oh, 8.2.
This is only a 2-tire change. This is only a 2-tire change.
That's
Oh wow.
yes.
Yeah.
He's like hanging out.
And that's considered fast for NASCAR.
Well, so they
Yeah.
have just invented a new way.
Well, you're absolutely right. Compared to Formula One,
Yeah, they switched over to the center lug.
Yeah, and
finally.
And they switched over center lug, and they jump over the wall, and they do it different than they did like in the 90s when I was a kid watching it. And so I looked at one time in 62 Daytona 500, it was the average forced tire pit stop was like 9 minutes, and the guys could get out of the car and go to the bathroom and eat a sandwich. That's pretty cool. Like, and have you ever seen the
phone call or two?
Have you ever seen the or Harry Gant smoke while he was driving? What are you talking about? You ever see the lug nut, the four-way lug wrench? That was invented by NASCAR guys because it was faster.
So the Formula One, this is intriguing because I just saw like a miracle under 2 seconds. 4 wheels changed out 4 wheels. Now, is there one lug nut on that thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a center lug. They're the inventors of the center lug.
If there is
it them or Indy?
No, it's Formula One. It's because everything in Formula One, their engineering is really German centric for the most part. That's what kind of the origins of it. And I hate to say it, man, Germans do cars on a whole different level.
Oh, they invented them,
Americans just now figured out how to make a car go 100 miles an hour safely without it falling apart.
Americans
that too. But I mean, Europeans have been making cars that go on Autobahn for 40
years. Yeah, but they don't have a Hellcat.
Right.
So you know how we have like
they don't sound the same, but I'll tell you what, you get behind the wheel of the right Mercedes.
Did you see Jimmy Johnson?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
Did you see Jimmy Johnson at Le Mans? Did you watch that?
No.
24-hour Le Mans. When they put that NASCAR out there this year, and they got around that curve on that straightaway right in front of the crowd, and he got on the gas and left everybody. There's a really cool way they did it. They dubbed in Freebird to it. Freebird, whoa! It was just amazing. It's like, I mean, they were saying that that NASCAR at the 24-hour Le Mans was the fastest off the gun car. There's no car faster than that. So,
wow. Well, you know how NASCAR they have Daytona, they have Talladega Nights, all that stuff. What does Formula One have? Is it
Talladega? Okay, so for starters, Talladega never races at night. There's no lights there. So why they named that movie that, it bothered me from the get-go. Anyway, go ahead. What?
Are you talking about the equivalent of the movie?
No, I'm talking about like where are the main races in Formula One?
Oh, they're they do a lot of street races.
So right now they have 5 races in the Americas.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
you have Austin, you have Vegas, you have Miami, you got Toronto, you got actually 6 races. You got Toronto, you have Mexico City, and you have Brazil. So you have 6 races in the Americas alone. Then you got like Dubai, you've got Germany, you've got UK, Italy, France. I'm trying to think where else. I think Australia's got a track. I mean, so F1 is a worldwide racing team. That's why F1 drivers are like almost billionaires versus NASCAR drivers. They're probably pulling in average $300,000-$400,000. There's not a baseball team. There's no super millionaire besides maybe Denny Hamlin that are like really wealthy. But like on average, a Formula One driver is probably making $10-20 million a year.
Well,
and then there's some like Lewis Hamilton. He's worth like $500 million.
Well, there's not a baseball team on the planet. All teams or all players combined that make what like Cristiano Ronaldo makes and what those Brazilian or those soccer teams make overseas and stuff.
I don't know, man. Juan Soto coming close.
Well, that's just him though. Everybody else is making chump change on that team.
How much?
13.4 million.
Is it F1 driver?
That's the average.
Average for an F1 driver.
But if you ever listen to Dale Jr. and them talk, per race.
No, per year. But that's average. Yeah,
but there's
only the top drivers.
There's only like 20 of them. right?
There's 20. There's 20. Well, they're going to increase it. So you know the Cadillac's got a race team starting in
really?
26.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Spa. Yeah, that's a good track, Charlie. Good track.
Well, I live 5 hours from Austin, and I've kind of wanted to go there, but I've
You should. And I hear it's a good
the
time.
rate. My favorite road course, 100. You know, being a NASCAR fan forever, my favorite is Watkins Glen, and I've looked it up. It's only a few hours from Jay, and that would have to be a trip we make because Watkins Glen is my favorite to watch on TV. But I've gotten to the point now where I'd rather watch sports on TV than be there because at least I get.
Yeah, it's so much better coverage.
Yes.
I'd say about
Commentary,
18 years ago, I went to
snacks.
New York City. This was 18 years ago, mind you. I played it. I watched a game.
I pulled my string.
So yeah, the house that Ruth built, not the new Yankee
Oh,
Stadium,
yeah.
the old Yankee
You
Stadium.
went to the old one? You went to the
I
old
went
one?
to the old one. I went to the old one, and it's funny because I went and I tried to get a beer. It was $16, 18 years ago.
Ugh.
$16 for a small little beer.
Ugh.
I told them to keep it and to have a nice day. I will never go back to that city again.
And it
was
wasn't even
horrible.
good beer. It was
Yeah.
like half.
Wow.
It was half
It was,
water.
It was horrible.
It's still 7-0 right now, Ohio
Ooh.
State over in Tennessee or Texas. Surprising.
Oh, really?
I forgot about that. When we scheduled this, I was like, oh, yeah,
I need-
Georgia's not playing, so I don't care.
I'm sorry about Georgia.
Yeah, my team got knocked out. It's okay.
Yeah, Dad Bod Vet. John and I, on the ship, we made a pact to root for each other's teams, football teams.
Yep.
So
Oh,
And there was like 5 of us.
That's
Texas A&M.
bold.
It
Bold.
was- well, I was very cautious of who I picked. It was Texas A&M, Arizona State, Georgia, Syracuse, and Iowa was the groups. So we all root for each other's team. But I cannot remember for the life of me who the Iowa guy was. But I know everybody else. So
I mean, I don't remember who the Iowa guy was either. So we really don't have to root for him if you don't want to. obviously.
made a pack, shook hands, spit on it.
Who's your
Brave.
team,
Brave.
John?
He's
I'm in South Carolina. I got nothing. Okay.
hey.
You got
Gamecocks.
Charleston Chew. You got one of the best candy bars ever.
What? Which one's
Charleston
that?
Chew, man.
Oh God, Charleston Chews. Gum your mouth up.
Right. So
We got RC colas and moon pies. That's
man,
what we
I
got.
do not like moon pies. People get so mad at me.
What?
So I'll say this. I've never liked moon pies ever. Never. But somebody told me that it's because I probably get them at gas station after they've been there for a month and a half. If you ever get one fresh, like if you ever go to Mobile or whatever where they make them and you get it fresh, it's better. But to me, that marshmallow just goes nasty after about 2 weeks of making them.
Oh yeah,
I don't like 'em.
they're not. They don't have a shelf life like Twinkies do.
I don't. So I've never
But
had one that's. I've
moon
never had
pies
one that's like
are the best.
amazing. So
Twinkies can last forever, can't they? That's
They will survive the
Did you see-
nuclear holocaust.
that's what they
They're going to
say.
be around
Did
they
you see
don't
that?
taste good though.
like the cockroaches.
Did you see that guy? I think I saw a TikTok on it. He saved a Big Mac or it was a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And it's been like 4 or 5 years and it looks like
Oh no! It's been way more than that. It's been like
Oh.
10, 15, 20 years. Like that thing's been sitting there forever. Looks exactly like it did when he bought it.
it's like damn,
What do you mean I'm not Southern?
They're
Brian
still good.
Dahlheimer.
they're still
Yeah.
good.
Because you don't like moon pies, man.
Oh, okay.
I
got you
can't.
there.
It's
But he-
You have to pull your card.
authentic marshmallow
I
sandwich.
live in Louisiana now. They don't even have moon pies down here. So
Oh, we're gonna be down your way. We're gonna be in New
Ooh.
Orleans, 22nd, February
I'm gonna
22nd.
be down. I'm gonna be in New Orleans February 21st.
We'll be there, February
I'm gonna watch
22nd.
WWE SmackDown. But you,
So am I. I'm gonna be at that. I'm gonna be at that match.
token.
I
guys
am.
gotta
We're
get
gonna.
together.
We're all going
Yeah.
straight from the airport to
Yeah.
You
that
guys
match.
gotta get together, man.
A bunch of guys from church decided they wanted to go to a match, and so we found one as the closest one. And so
Well, if you see
Yeah.
me, holler.
I,
I'll be
I'm
there.
I'm really
myself, Nick, and Sherry
So,
will be there. Kelly's not
I'm
gonna be
wearing a Sting shirt. I want to wear a Sting WCW shirt because I'm a WCW guy because I am Southern
there. WCW.
anyway. And and all the guys are like, I need to paint my face like Sting, do the like Zach Morris like 90s
Do
hair.
it.
I think I want to do it.
Do
But
it.
we're sitting in the nosebleeds and like 50-yard line, basically nosebleeds. It's good seats for wrestling and basketball stuff, but it was still like $100 a ticket, and like those ringside tickets are like $1,000. They've gone crazy.
Yeah, I'm not doing a ticket. Somebody else is handling that. He's just gonna show up.
You got some people to do it for you. My people, you
We got
people.
people doing that. We got people don't do that.
It's crawfish season now
Yeah, but
too. So Stephanie,
Well, and also, what's his name? What's the guy that's gonna cook it? The thing?
The Cajun.
The Cajun chef.
Is that the
What
guy
his
that says
name?
the salty cracker.
No, not
Okay.
stale cracker. Cooking with Cajun. Cooking with
Is
Cajun.
that the
That's
one
his
that
name.
says, hey,
He's gonna be doing. We got a party at the house, and Cooking with
Cooking.
Cajun is gonna do our party.
Lately, it's been cooking with what's that girl's name? Everybody gets so mad about. I don't remember. I've never actually watched her because I know that it's cooking with Kai. That's it.
Oh yeah,
Who's
Cooking with Kai. Yeah,
It gets you in
I like
trouble.
her.
it's a trend now to say
Well, it's a
something?
trend to get you in trouble. Is
What?
what it was. It's apparently she's a good cook, but she's like really flirty dances and stuff the whole time. And if
Oh, yeah,
guys
she's kinda-
apparently if
kinda-
guys know who she is, then they get in trouble. So
Ah, gotcha.
I mean, I know because I saw her cooking.
So this
she's on TV now, though, or apparently she's on TV. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
who's this kid?
Hey, the girl with Tourette's is on TV now too.
Which one?
Oh, dude, I love her.
Which one?
I love her. She's
Freaking awesome.
hilarious.
Who
God,
is it?
She's
who?
so funny.
What's her name?
Aubrey, I don't know, I can't remember her name, but she started out on TikTok and Instagram and stuff, doing just talking, and then she'd have her Tourette spells, and the TLC gave her a show, and she just has her moments.
Dude, that's awesome.
I do that, and I get
know,
in
right?
trouble.
Aubrey, like Thor, Trother.
God, what's her name? What's her
Trother.
name for the Tourette's girl?
Is her name
I just-
Bree or something?
I
like
just punched in Aubrey Tourette's and seen it.
Tourette's girl TikTok. Her name is. Who's the girl with Tourette's on TikTok? Baleen. I don't know why I said Aubrey. Baleen Dupree.
Baleen Dupree.
Baleen Dupree.
Huh.
Now she has a real life TV show. I don't even think it's out yet. I'm excited. I'm gonna
Baleen
watch that.
Dupree.
It's gonna be one of my. Because she's funny. Do you remember the
She-
Tourette's guy from like the 90s?
Yeah. Yes.
Which one?
Yeah.
There's-
The Tourette's guy. It was a dad
Yep.
who had Tourette's, and it'd be like.
So
I
she
love
was
him.
born
He's
in
dead. He's dead. by the way.
July 2002, and she's got a TV show. And
She's, yeah.
He's got hair like Kristen's sister, right? She's got a really big hair. Or is it?
Yeah, she's
yeah.
blonde, got big hair.
funny.
Dude, you gotta look up the Tourette's dad, John, because that's freaking hilarious.
Tourette's
The
guy.
Tourette's
Tourette's
guy.
guy.
I cannot type today. Tourette's guy. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Oh
Tourette's
yeah,
guy.
yeah. I just saw the picture. I forgot about that guy.
Oh, he's got a whole YouTube channel dedicated to him.
He died. You said that,
But
right?
see, I don't know if he was fake or not. I don't know if he was real.
You never know.
Did he?
And
die?
I was.
I could
It
never
says
tell.
I was heartbroken to find out that the whole Duck Dynasty thing was totally made up too.
He's an alcoholic man who suffers from
Since
Tourette's. syndrome.
2007. Rest in peace, Danny, the Tourette's guy.
Yeah,
Aw.
he's no
Okay.
longer with us.
Well, moment of silence. One, two,
No more
three, go.
silence. Poor beer.
Okay.
It's better than the other moment silence we
And
did.
you're sacrilegious. Son of mama. Duck Dynasty is real.
They admitted
What?
it was fake.
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty
Well,
is
look,
real.
man. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people that are on these shows and stuff. Ain't one of them
Yeah.
real. Ain't one.
Well,
of them
you
real.
know,
Southern Charm, you name it, it's all scripted.
I mean, the one that what really made me notice it one day I was watching.
You're very loud, by the way. You're very loud.
Hello,
with your
Miss
potato chips.
Dad Pod veteran.
very-
Hello, Mrs.
You're very. Say hi. Wave. Say hi. Wave.
You got a rash? So did I. John's contagious.
But when there was a
Okay,
Miami,
that's
there was a Miami show where they were like parking wars or whatever, and this lady got pushed off the balcony into the ground, and then she came back and attacked this a big old black lady. She like started beating the guy after falling the floor in half, and I was like, yeah, these are fake. That's when I found out.
They're fake.
You
They're
know,
all
what I'm
fake, man.
you know what I'm addicted to? Every day when I
That's
go
an
on
open
lunch,
question you should not ask on this podcast.
Yeah, it's very. Especially
well,
when you
if you
say
have a perverted
every day.
mind, John. Of course.
I'm gonna be like, well, you know,
I didn't know
long as
you
you-
were clicking on.
Use the right lotion, you'll be all right.
No, I'm Storage Wars. Every
Right.
day when I'm on lunch, I have to watch an episode of
Oh,
Storage
God.
I hate
Wars
Storage
just
Wars.
just to see what they're getting, man.
I can't.
But-
do that.
Sorry, I love it.
I can't
I
do
love
it.
it.
I,
I can't do it.
Dahlheimer's on one tonight. We gotta start doing these earlier before he starts getting into his
Yeah, he's
10
probably
bottles
on
of
the
wine.
third bottle of wine right now.
It's Friday,
Yeah,
man.
it's
You
true.
guys, everybody should be enjoying their
Brian
libations.
Delheimer actually was a OS on our ship, and
Look, I'm enjoying my libations.
Liquid death.
stick with coffee.
Speaking of
It's my libation.
speaking of Christmas, this is one of the things that I got.
Ooh,
I
pretty.
I finally got me a fancy one that I can top.
It's the fly rig. Fly rig. To do the fly rig.
That's a fly vise.
So what was that? Like a weight on the end of that thing?
No, it's just a bobbin for the string.
Gotcha.
I couldn't find my whip finish tool, so
Becker, you still got all your hair? Or are you hat fishing? You like me, you hat fishing. Oh God.
yeah.
Yeah. That's what the missus says. She says I'm hat fishing.
I still
It's like catfishing with a
I
hat.
got all mine still. I was supposed to get a haircut
Yeah,
today,
that's a
but the
lot.
lady decided that she had something to do, which is fine. So I got to do it in the morning. So
Well, you guys use your energy for hair on your head. I'll just use it for
well, see, I
energy
just
right here.
cut my
My sister
beard.
Jamie actually wanted me to ask you a question. I told her she needed to come online and interact, but she's too busy right now. But she wanted to know how long it took you to grow your beard.
Well, if I wouldn't keep cutting it, it would grow a lot faster. But I got a guy, and he cuts me every 3
three?
weeks. Every 3 weeks. So it was probably, this is like,
Getting a little long.
I mean, I've been on it for like 2 years.
Okay.
But it's been cut a few times between now and then. So it'd probably take about 6 months.
For
to
a
get
while, you were actually doing something on TikTok. Someone with a beard would mimic you, and you would send them a hat. Is that true? Or
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I sent out a couple of hats on
Really?
that one. Yeah, so the first one was a dude in England.
oh shit!
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a dude. He builds motorcycles in England. John Hutto. He was the first one that sent it. He said somebody told him that he looked like me, and then he sent me this video of him trying to use a voice like me, which he already has an
Right.
English voice. So that was really
Yeah.
easy. And I was like, "That's cool."
So what was this topic for times before?
He didn't really do a topic per se. He just kind of was like, everyone says I sound like you. And so here I am, sounding like you. And it was just that. And he just went like that for like a minute. And I was like, done. This
That's
is a new thing. I'm gonna send you hats because I have a box of
Right.
hats. I just send them out to people. I think I
You
sent
did. You
you
sent
one.
me two. Shauna loves hers.
Yeah.
I wear mine often.
By the way, the thing about it is I don't make the same hats
Right.
twice.
Really?
So whatever hat you have, it's limited.
Who do you
edition.
go through?
That's cool.
A place called Custom Patch Hats in
You did a
North
voiceover for
Carolina.
them, didn't you? No,
No, I pay them.
I thought you did a voiceover
I
for
pay
some
them.
hat or something like that.
I've done yeah, that was Angry Minnow.
Gotcha. Okay.
I used to be sponsored by Angry Minnow out of
Or local dog.
where's one of my Angry Minnow hats, babe? Angry Minnow out of Minnesota.
That was me
Minneapolis.
summer before last.
See, man, why'd you gotta get
It
rid
was
of that?
time. It was time to go.
No,
Well, you can't see the hair. The hair in the back touched my almost
look
touched
at
my
that.
belt.
That is
It was nice.
That is calendar.
It may come
worthy.
back.
That
It
is-
may come back, but I don't think the
Calendar
hair
worthy.
will.
Speaking of calendars, did you guys know that I did a calendar this year?
No.
I'm in a calendar.
Where?
It's called 50 Shades of Grey.
2025, dude. You got to let me know where to buy one of those. Seriously.
It's in my merch store.
Really?
Is your merch store on TikTok or is yeah?
Any of them, just click the link in my bio. It goes to my link.
So
tree,
let
and
me
it'll take
let me
to my
ask
merch
you this
store.
question real fast. Do you think that
Your eyes will burn. Yeah, just like Julie said, your eyes will burn. Your eyes will freaking
I'm
burn.
good.
So here's how the story went down. Well, John,
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
answer
go
this
ahead.
before. So my buddy calls me, our Curtis buddy calls me. He says, "Hey, dude, you want to do a calendar?" And I'm like I said, don't say no to anything. I was like, "Yes,
Absolutely.
okay." Well, now we just need 10 more people. You got 6 friends you can call? I was like, sure. Call up 6 of my creator buddies and said, hey guys, you want to be in a really cringy calendar? And most of them were like,
They're Gen X, of
yes?
course we will.
Yeah, and in 2 weeks we put this calendar together. Just sent the pictures to one guy, and him and his wife, they put it all together, and poof, we're all on the
Gotta be
calendar.
kidding me.
Like, it's the
That's pretty cool.
cringiest thing
Good
I've
idea.
ever done in my
Yeah.
life. It was so much fun. Like, Julie was the photographer doing my cringy pictures.
I can't
It
wait
was
to buy one.
great.
I can't wait.
And so, like December, dude, December will make you go blind. You will never unsee December. That's all I gotta say. That's the dude that it was his idea. You will never unsee December. Oh,
Hey, I've learned that when I work for a power utility, so I've learned that when a lineman walks up and shows you a phone, you don't look at it. And so I'm probably not going to look at a because I was in Puerto Rico working the hurricane Hurricane Maria that hit it, and this guy walked up and there's a group of us and he said, "Hey, y'all watch this video," and I watched for like 2 seconds and I was like, I looked at him and I'm just something hit me like walk away from this. And when I was walking away, I heard them all go, "Oh!" and they just watched 2 girls in a cup, and thank God I missed it,
2 girls
and
in a
I'm
cup.
good. I never saw it. So, well, let me ask you this:
So should I ask about that? Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't. You need to Google that
when this
you're
is over.
private
I'll
time.
explain it, but you will
Yeah,
not.
you should Google it in your private time.
I really,
Do
it.
honestly, I live under a
Actually,
rock.
you and Shauna should sit around the phone and
Oh,
Google
God.
that.
I live
No,
under a rock. I don't know
You
like
should do that.
trends and everything like that.
no.
No, it's not trendy. It's not
Not
trendy. Just it's a very special and unique thing that you two should share.
John's over here going, and all he's giving me. Next thing he's gonna do is send me Morse code.
Trust me, I'm a celebrity. You can trust me.
Right.
So let me ask you this. This is something that's kind of interesting. I didn't realize like how big, is TikTok going away? Is that something that you guys is it something that you guys have to?
Some people are concerned about it. I'm not.
So you have enough of a following on YouTube and
I'm
everything?
diversified. I have diversified
He's got
my
people
investment
following him
portfolio.
in England. He's
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, I got my Facebook hacked like a year and a half ago. It actually got hijacked. And as soon as that happened, and my Facebook wasn't that big then, as soon as that happened, I have diversified to every platform possible. So yes, it will be painful, but will I die from it?
Right.
No. This show goes on, but there are a lot of people that were like, all bets in on TikTok because they had the TikTok shop and they had this, that, and the other. And I feel bad for them. They did not diversify to the other platforms, and
I don't think it'll go away.
a lot of the really big ones on TikTok right now are.
I don't think it'll go away. I think that it might have to be banned for a week or two, but then kick back off. I don't think it'll go away completely.
Yeah, I think that. Well, and if it doesn't go away, somebody's going to replace it with something because, in my opinion, it's necessary, and the reason it's necessary is for competition.
So,
Meta kind of rules the roost if they go away.
That's
not a good thing. YouTube does its own damn thing. It doesn't really care what anybody else does because it's the king of long form. But on the short form side, really, Meta will rule the roost if TikTok goes away.
And that's the problem. That's what they're trying to. That's what makes it sound like they're being paid off by that group trying to get rid of their competition. I don't know, but I'm not saying that's what happens. But
there's a lot of conspiracy theories on that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm okay. Yeah. I'll be okay. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
I made a video one time. There was a gate. I was working up in Marshall, Texas, and there was a gate getting into that coal mine we were working at. And the way that it was constructed, it doesn't matter. It was really weird that you can have like 10 different locks on it, and you just open it. It was really neat how they made it. And so I just like videoed it. Like, oh, this is really cool. I showed how they did it. Man, I've never seen nothing like this. Boom, gone. And then like a week later, and this is when I didn't go on TikTok every day. I had like 1 million views. Like what? Like, and all of a sudden I'm at like 4,000 followers over one stinking video. And then of course I don't do it all the time. So it wasn't my intention to do it all the time. But it was kind of weird.
Brian Delheimer says that 2 Girls in a Cup video is life changing.
It is
life changing. Just hearing the discussion.
Definitely
don't do it, J-Beck.
I'm not going to. I mean, I love you guys, both of you very much. You've been a huge part of my life, but I don't trust a damn thing you guys are saying right now. No. you should do it times
You
before.
trust me?
You got to do it times before about that video then.
Listen, I promise that if you and the missus do it together, you guys will share that for the rest of your existence. That moment.
So for people who don't know,
Never forget it.
Dad Bod Vet, what did you do before
What?
TikTok? Before you became.
What do you mean? Like I had a job? I still have a job.
Oh, you have a day
I
job.
know everybody thinks that we like roll around in money, but
What do you
we
do?
don't.
What's your job?
We don't. I mean, I do, but not. They're not like. It's like coins. It's like I got a penny in my butthole right now because I did it 5 minutes before we started.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. So I still work a job.
What kind of
full-time
what do
job.
you work? What do you do?
I'm in the security industry. I
That
can't
makes
tell you
sense.
anything
That's
else.
enough for me.
I'll have
If you
to,
ever,
I'll
John,
have
if you
to,
ever met
find you.
Dad Bod Vet in person, you understand why he's in security.
Yeah, I'm in the security industry. I'm a security professional. I don't actually do the stuff anymore because I'm old
He's
and
a
broken.
bear.
But I've been doing that for 25 years, and I love what I do. And it's going to be hard, but there is a possibility that in the near future I might have to make that decision. It's not one that I want to make, but if this tour goes the way it looks like it's going, I might have to choose.
Well, that's a good
Well-
choice. I mean, it's exciting though, bro.
Well, remember what Dave Ramsey said.
But,
When you're turning your hobby into a career, Dave Ramsey said that you got to make sure that you get the boat of your hobby close enough to the dock where you can just step off.
What the hell does that
exactly,
mean?
exactly.
So, like your life
But
is
it
the dock.
sounds important.
Hey,
It
your
sounds
life
good.
is
It
the
sounds-
dock.
I'm on
Your
board.
life is the dock. The boat in the water
is the
is your
dock.
hobby. You can't step off into
Yes.
that without getting wet. So, in order for your hobby to become your job, you have to get it close enough to the dock where it's making enough money where you can step off into it without going broke. That's
What,
what.
Gotcha.
what does Dave Ramsey know?
Oh my lord!
He's like Dr. Phil. Nobody
He's-
cares.
He's
He
Dr.
probably has more money than
Bicycle
Dr.
World.
Phil.
He's
He
Dr.
probably does
Phil.
have any more money, but he does not have as much fun.
No. Dr. Phil got divorced, I heard. So that's horrible.
Okay, I know this question's out of left field, but I gotta know.
Atlanta Braves. Go ahead.
Suck. Favorite wrestler, WCW, John Go.
Sting, 100%. And not
Wait.
not the Crow Sting, the Zach Morris Sting from the 80s, 90s.
Gotcha. John,
Ric Flair.
have you seen the video of him and another guy that came out, the black guy, and they had the woo back and forth?
Yeah.
Dude, I watch that and I crack up all the time. WWF, now WWE, John Go.
Ooh.
Favorite one. Well, my answer was Goldberg because I'm stupid like that.
The Rock.
WWE. So WWE was never my thing because I couldn't get it on on TV because our antenna didn't reach that far.
Aluminum foil, bro.
I'm not
Come
joking.
on.
Dude, there's mountains in the way. It don't work like that. Realistically, I that's a hard one. I'll let you go. I'm thinking.
Dead by veteran. What do you got?
The Rock. The Rock.
Of all time?
My favorite.
Yeah,
Why?
because he's the freaking people's champion. Why is there anything else? And he's probably the most successful post wrestling person ever.
I gotta agree with you there. Yes. Yep. Brian Dahlheimer, of course.
Ooh,
John Cena.
I love John.
John Cena's
He's-
not bad either.
Brian's definitely in his third one.
Funny.
He's freaking hilarious.
He owns
He's
his own wig
He's
collection.
on this year, man.
his own what collection?
He owns his own wig collection.
He owns a wig collection.
John Cena does?
So I've been told by my producer. John Cena does.
I mean, probably the one that I was the most excited every time they came out to watch throughout the time would probably be realistically my mind's going straight to Undertaker. I don't know why. I just like that. So again, growing up in the 80s and 90s, watching WCW and Mid-South and all that as a kid, I never watched WWF, and it wasn't until I was in the Navy in the Tech Corps Barracks 632 on Monday nights fighting between Raw and Nitro that I ever even really put a lot of time into WWF to know what it was. And of course, that's when Stone Cold and all that's happening. And it was, I mean, those Monday nights were crazy. They were saying that NBC and CBS and ABC and all Fox, all them were losing money because nobody was watching their show because everybody's watching. Monday Night Football struggled that year because those two teams, for real, those two were going at it.
Oh yeah,
And-
I believe it.
But I don't know. I'd have to say probably Undertaker's one that anytime he showed up, it was always a deal for me. I always enjoyed it. So I'm trying. I guess that would be it. But what was interesting was when we was a kid. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Saturday mornings is when WWF came on. It wasn't on Monday nights, Friday nights, it was Saturday mornings a lot of times. And I was over at my buddy's house. Brian Garrett, we called him Possum. He was over at Possum's house.
What'd you call him?
Possum.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why we call him Possum.
that's
Anyway,
a down south nickname.
his dad's name was Termite. His name's Possum. And then I don't know why that's what we called him. But they're both of them named Brian. So how about that? So anyhow, was over at Possum's house and he had it on. It was a bunch of us there, and I don't know anything about what's going on. This guy pulls a snake out. We're like, oh, this is crazy, Jake Snake.
Jake the Snake.
And he tied up Macho Man, and he pulled the King Cobra out, right? And I was watching that happen. And if you don't, what a lot of people don't realize is that right after he bit his arm and he pulled it off, and you see the blood, they say, "Well, boys and girls, see you next week." And shut it off. And we didn't have a clue. We didn't know. I didn't know it was fake. I thought he was dead. Like, it's a King Cobra. We knew that the King Cobra was deadly, and he just got bit, and they went out. Now we got to watch He-Man because we don't get to know what's going on. So
you got to wait a week.
And on Monday, we were all like, do you think he's dead? Do you think he's gone?
All right, guys. Well, I have to get going. I have to work in the morning. I got a water heater in for a buddy of mine. So, fun.
Is it cold?
Veteran, thank you so much for showing.
Yes.
You want to take a couple 2 seconds and tell the people who are watching what you got going on?
Right.
I don't know what I got going on. Just follow me on my socials. We got a comedy tour and a cruise and merch and all the things. Follow me on all the socials if you don't. And if you do,
purchase
I'm sorry.
the 2025.
I'm going to waste your life.
Purchase the 2025 calendar.
And a calendar.
Everyone has to purchase all that.
50 Shades of Gravy.
I think I'm good.
Well, John, thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming on. I love you. Thank you so much.
Hey, it's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, man.
Take care
Y'all have a good one.
buddy.
Okay, man. Crazy. That was kind of cool.
That was my buddy, everybody. John, I'm not going to say his last name, but he's a dad bod veteran. He's a very good friend of mine. He actually gave John and I some tips about this. He's very good at it, very successful content creator. He's been doing some stand-up comedy shows. He's going to be in Las Vegas sometime this year, and I'm just really glad he showed up, talked to us. That's
pretty crazy. He said NASCAR called him. That dude's famous. I was like, did you hear me say, who are we talking to? NASCAR's calling.
Whenever I open up my TikTok, they have that little button there called Friends. I see Friends all the time, and John's content comes up, and I just look at him and be like, dude, I just want to punch him in the face because I know what he's like. I want to punch him, then I want to hug him and kiss him. He's a great guy. One thing we didn't talk about, I really wanted to, is that he's got a couple boys, and both of them are in the Navy too.
Oh,
so yeah, they're in the Navy.
You also don't know, not that anybody's watching us.
Right? Yeah.
You don't want to blow his kids.
Everyone just signed off because the dad bod veteran just left. But
yeah. So now we're down to 4. So, well, everybody. I mean, this isn't the content we planned on, but guess what? That's okay.
Great surprise. It was a great.
Yes, it was fantastic. So,
Charlie, thank you so much for staying, Charlie. Brian, of course, you're always there. Love you, bud.
For real quick, we're going to talk about the futures. Future is not bleak. We're ready to go. We took a break for the holidays. We're back. We're ready to roll. Ready to do this. I'm probably I got a lot going on with different shows and stuff. I got to do one tomorrow night, and then next Friday I got another one to do, and then so other stuff I do podcast worlds. But we're going to get back on here. We need ideas, comments, or topics. Email us. Be a part of that. Oh, that's weird. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, just let us know. Let us know what you think if you're still watching. Appreciate you watching. I was like, oh man, this is only 45 minutes. We'll keep going. I'll stay all night. But it's good. Leave them wanting more. That's what they always say. So
yeah. But, John, it's always my fault. I'm always working, dude. But Hopefully.
Brian Dahlheimer.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
I'm glad I didn't have nothing in my mouth when he said that. I'd have spit it
it'd be
everywhere.
coming out of your nose. All right,
remember Asner? Remember the Dave Shelley and Chainsaw in San Diego on that rock station, the morning show?
Yes.
Oh, I hate that that's gone. That was such a good time.
Mhm.
I wish I had a good one like that now, but they don't have any like that no more. So, anyway,
All right, brother.
are you good? Everything good?
Good. We're good to go.
Stay warm. Put another log on that fire.
Yeah, I'm going to.
And it went out. Oh, not in. Is that does that heat that room?
That's wood burning. Yeah, it doesn't have a blower, so it takes a little while for the room to get warm, but it has warmed up quite a bit since I.
Does it heat that room though, or is it?
Oh yeah, yep.
I mean, is that the only heat in that room, or do you have a?
I got a little
furnace?
small fin tube that goes down the baseboard heating. You know, heats from the boiler, hot water. Doesn't really do the job because this is not really good insulated room. It was a build on, so yeah.
Info. Love you, man.
All right,
Have
man.
a good night.
Soon.